Well, welcome to everybody once again. Let's kick this thing off. We're so glad you joined us today for this month's webinar, Ally, Envision, and Voice Transcription. So today's webinar is going to last a little bit over an hour, probably right around an hour. And there's several points where we're going to give you a chance to ask questions or comment, but just some housekeeping so that all of this can be as smooth as possible. We're expecting a good turnout today. And like I mentioned, everybody's going to be muted until the question and answer sections. If you have a question or a comment, please raise your virtual hand at any time. If you're using Zoom on a PC, you can press Alt-Y to raise your hand. This will make it easy for our moderator, Elena, to be able to see you at the top of the list. And she'll be able to call on you when the time comes. To lower your hand, press Alt-Y again. And don't forget, if you're called on, you must be sure to unmute yourself before speaking. And we'll remind you of that. This webinar is brought to you by the Lighthouse for the Blind Incorporated. Our organization is headquartered in Seattle and has manufacturing facilities in Seattle, Washington, Spokane, Washington, and Somerville, South Carolina. And that's where we make, at those three locations, we make aerospace parts and products for the U.S. government. We own and operate Ability One base supply centers located on military bases up and down the West Coast, too. And we also provide contract closeout services for the military at several other locations around the country. So our mission is to empower people who are blind, deafblind, and blind with other disabilities through sustainable employment and transformative services for career advancement. And that's one of the things that we hope our webinar accomplishes, is that transformative services to help people become more independent. And we're also at the Lighthouse currently hiring. So if you or somebody that you know is blind, please scope out our open job positions at lhblind.org/jobs to see if there's a job for you. And Elena's going to put that link in the chat. So today's webinar is one of several new community-based programs that we're excited to offer at the Lighthouse. We're thrilled so far at the progress that we've made and the people that we've reached, and we're so grateful for your ongoing support and really for helping us spread the word, because we couldn't do it without you. So stay tuned for more updates and feel free to reach out to our webinar team anytime at questions@lhblind.org. It's pretty easy, questions@lhblind.org. And one final note, tomorrow you're going to receive an informational email with notes and relevant links on everything that we covered today in the webinar. So we've made some updates to the content of this email in hopes that it's going to be even more of a valuable resource for you. So it also includes a link to a survey that we would really appreciate you completing. What you tell us matters, and we've already implemented several of the suggestions you guys have made in previous surveys. So I've been doing all this talking, and I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Tim Paulding, and I manage our computer training programs and our Braille literacy programs at all of our locations. I'm located at our Spokane location, and I also teach what's called orientation and mobility to our employees at that location. I've been in the blindness rehabilitation field for over 15 years. 12 of those have been at the Lighthouse. And during that time, I've taught both assistive technology and orientation and mobility. And I also happen to be blind. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to discuss a few different things. We're going to talk about Ally by Envision, the Envision app itself. So those are two separate apps. And then we're going to cover some info on how to easily create transcriptions using Apple's built-in Voice Memos app. So we're going to first talk about the Ally app and the Envision app are both offered by a company, you guessed it, by Envision. So this is a blindness and low vision software company. You may have heard of the Envision glasses. We actually featured these glasses in a webinar last year. And if you want to check that out, search up the Lighthouse for the Blind Incorporated on YouTube, or follow the link in the email resources that you'll receive tomorrow. So let's start with the Ally app. Ally is a new digital assistant from Envision. It's kind of similar to the ChatGPT app or the features in the Meta smart glasses or Google Gemini. We covered those a couple of months ago. But Envision says, and this is their statement, that Ally is different because it's designed specifically for people who are blind or visually impaired. So one of their marketing blurbs says, it's like calling a helpful friend who always picks up, and that Ally is ready to support you wherever you are. So this service, this program, their AI assistant basically, is accessible via an iOS app. It's accessible and available on the web or through the Envision smart glasses. So today we're going to explore, most of what we're going to do is explore the iOS Ally app. So that'll be on your iPhone or your iPad. And according to their documentation, Envision says Ally recognizes the user's intent. So using a custom reasoning model that they built. So this means that when you ask a question of Envision, it understands whether you're looking for information, a visual analysis, a description, or an action. For example, if you ask, do I need my umbrella today? It knows you're asking for weather info. I love that they put that on their main website. Siri has been doing that since like 2016, but that's okay. It does a lot of cool things, and we'll talk about that. I just found that kind of funny. So if you ask, what are you holding in my hand? It knows you're asking for a visual description, which is pretty cool. There are three main tools that Ally uses. First, a large language model. So that's going to be like ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Meta's AI. There's lots of large language models out there now. So this helps with general knowledge, calculations, and reasoning, like solving a math problem or answering, what's the capital of the United States? Second, it uses your device's camera paired with a visual language model. So this allows it to recognize and describe images. The camera also uses OCR, optical character recognition. That means it can read printed or handwritten text. OCR, as many of you might know, has been around a long time. There's lots of apps that do it. Back in the day, there were big machines that you'd put paper into. It also, and I didn't test this out, but they also state that it integrates with your calendar, so it can kind of be a personal assistant. That wasn't altogether readily apparent when I used the app, but I didn't dig into a lot of the settings. Third, Ally can perform web searches, and it actually does this well when there's more information needed. So right now, we're going to watch this deep dive that I made into Ally, and then we'll take your questions and kind of talk about this app a little bit. Okay. All right, everybody, we're going to scope out the Ally app here. I'm using my iPhone 15, not the Pro or anything, nothing super fancy, but we're going to open up Ally with Siri.
1:02.
Open Ally.
1:02 p.m. Status bar item. Talk to Ally. Button.
Okay, so a couple options on the first screen here. I already went through the whole setup process with this, where you customize the voice. It asks you questions about your preferences, different things like that. It states that it can remember kind of your interests and your likes and your preferences. I already went through that whole thing, and now when you open the app, you get a couple of different options.
Preferences. Button.
You can go back into preferences.
Talk to Ally. Button.
You can talk to Ally.
Chat with Ally. Button.
And you can chat with Ally. So talk is like that live conversation feature that we're really going to explore. Talk to Ally is kind of a text-based type chat thing. But we're gonna go into this live conversation thing and really interact with it. And just a visual description here. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. It's a glass table, so it might be a little bit reflective. It's a plain surface here. Got some flowers on the table, and I got some windows open for some good natural lighting, just so you know the kind of the situation we're in here. And we're gonna check out how well this thing performs.
Chat with Ally. Button.
So I'm gonna double tap here. Chat with Ally.
Word characters. Headings. Speaking with 60%.
Slow it down a little bit for you.
Chat with Ally.
All right, chat with Ally. Let's see what she does.
Text field is editing. Insertion point at start. Hello, hello, end conversation. Button.
Ah, shoot.
Preferences. Chat with Ally. Button.
All right, let's start over. All right, everyone. Here we are checking out the new Ally app from Envision. I'm using my iPhone 15, and I'm just going to ask Siri to please open Ally. Open Ally.
Ally. Chat 1:04 p.m. Talk to Ally.
Okay, so here we are. We're gonna we have a couple different options when you open the app. I wanted to give a little brief visual description of what's going on here for those of you who don't have any vision. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. It's a glass table, so it might be a little bit reflective. We'll see if that causes any problems. There's a vase of flowers on the table, and then there's some good natural lighting off to my right. Just so you guys know the kind of the environment we're in to see how well this thing does in recognizing text and images and different stuff like that. So there's a couple options that come up right when you open up the app.
Preferences button.
And I'm just using standard voiceover commands to kind of swipe around the screen. There's preferences. I already set all the preferences in this. When you first launch the app, it asks you all kinds of questions about your likes and dislikes and what you know your name, what you want to be called, different things like that. We went through all that. It's a bit of a process, not too bad. Maybe took me like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. And then so we're on the screen now that comes up when you launch the app.
Talk to Ally. Chat with Ally. Button.
Chat with Ally and talk with Ally.
Talk to Ally.
So
button.
we want to talk to it. And that's, I think, the conversation feature.
Processing.
Hear that sound?
Hello.
Hi, Ally. Hey, I just wanted to go over a couple things with you today, ask you some questions, that kind of stuff. Are you up for that?
Hi there. Absolutely. I'm ready to help with whatever you need. What's on your mind today?
Great. So I'm just going to start with some simple questions. What's the weather like outside where I am right now?
Allow Ally to use your location. We need your location. My location. My location. We need your location. Allow Ally to use your
Provide it or allow location.
Allow while using app
so I
button.
can check the weather for you.
All right. So it asks me, I have to give it permission to view my location, and I'll do that.
Ally, tap to mute button.
Okay.
Thank you. It seems like there might be an issue with accessing your location at the moment. You can try again, or if you prefer, you can simply tell me your city, and I'll look up the weather for you. The current weather in Spokane Valley, Washington, United States is broken clouds. The temperature is 58 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, I like that description. So what's the weather supposed to be like for the rest of the day?
The weather for the rest of the day will remain under broken clouds with temperatures hovering around 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It should stay relatively mild, so you might not need a heavy jacket. If you need more details or any other questions, just let me know.
Yeah, I really like your description of the weather. It seems like it's a little bit better than what we can squeeze out of Siri usually. Tell me about the weather for the rest of the week.
I seem to have hit a snag with accessing your location again. Could you let me know your city and I'll provide the weather forecast for the rest of the week?
Yeah, Spokane Valley, Washington.
For the rest of the week in Spokane Valley, Washington, you can expect consistent weather with broken clouds. The temperatures will remain around 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks like the weather will stay mild without major changes. If you need daily forecasts, feel free to ask.
Super. Well, that's helpful. And hey, I'm just kind of trying to show this app to lots of friends of mine. Could you tell me a few things that you can do that would maybe help me as a person who's blind?
Certainly. Here are a few ways I can assist you as a person who is blind. 1. Reading text. I can read text from documents, menus, or any printed materials using your device's camera. 2. Describing scenes. I can describe scenes and objects captured through your camera, helping you understand what's around you. 3. Providing weather and news updates, whether it's the current weather or the latest news. I can keep you informed with up-to-date information. 4. Event information. If you're attending events, I can help with schedules and navigation details. 5. Speech-to-text interaction. You can talk to me naturally without needing to type, and I'll respond with information and help. 6. Calendar and reminders. I can assist with managing your schedule and reminding you of important events. If there's anything specific you'd like to try or know more about, let me know.
Wow. Okay. I'm super interested about how you help me manage my calendar. Like, how do I set my calendar up with you? Like, I have a work calendar and a personal calendar. How do I get that into your data banks so you can, help me with it?
To integrate your calendar with My Assistants, you generally need to link your calendar accounts like Google Calendar or Apple Calendar through the app or service you are using. Here's a general guide on how you might do it. 1. Use an app or service. First, ensure that your device or the app you're using to communicate with me supports calendar integration. 2. Account linking. Go to the settings in your app or device and look for an option to connect accounts or manage calendars. You'll typically find options like
Okay.
Link Calendar.
All right, that's helpful. Thank you. I'll look into all of that later. So I want to do a couple things today. I wanted to see if you could kind of recognize some objects that I have. And I'm going to show you something, and I want you to tell me what it is. So what do we do?
Great. You can show me the object using your device's camera, and I'll do my best to help identify or describe it for you. Just go ahead and give me a view of what you're looking at, and I'll take it from there.
Okay, I'm holding the object in front of the camera now.
Let me take a look. You're holding a container of Starbucks Hot Cocoa Classic. It looks like this is a product meant for making hot chocolate. If you need any more information or have additional questions, feel free to ask.
What does the packaging look like? Like, give me a detailed description.
Let me take a look. The Starbucks Hot Cocoa Classic container has a sleek metallic design that reflects light and gives it an elegant appearance. At the top of the packaging, you can see the Starbucks logo featuring the iconic siren. Below the logo, hot cocoa is prominently...
Messages. Now. Christina. Okay.
Okay, well that's handy. That's nice. That was a good description. At least I think it was. I got something else in front of me. Could you tell me about that?
Let me take a look. You're holding a container of Food Club Italian-style breadcrumbs.
Oh.
The packaging
Go ahead. Sorry.
The Food Club Italian-style breadcrumbs packaging features a green and white label with the text Italian-style breadcrumbs prominently displayed. There's an image of a dish that looks like breaded chicken or another breaded food item, suggesting its use. The container is cylindrical and might have easy pour features. If you'd like more details or have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Easy pour features. Why don't you tell me what you're talking about? Because it's just like a round container.
Sure. When I mention easy pour features, I'm referring to designs or elements that make it simpler to dispense the contents. In the case of a round container like this one, it might have a spout or a part of the lid that can be opened partially to control the flow. But if you find it doesn't have these features, it could simply be a standard round container. If you need more details or have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have any of that, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to ask you something about me. I'm pointing the camera towards me now, and I want you to tell me what I look like and give me your opinion on my outfit today.
Let me take a look. Your outfit features a dark polo shirt with bright details, including a prominent yellow letter M logo on the chest, which adds a pop of color. The shirt appears to be well fitted, giving you a neat and polished look. This style is casual yet smart, making it suitable for various occasions. If you're going for a comfortable yet presentable vibe, I'd say you've nailed it perfectly.
Great. What do you think that bright yellow M stands for? Like, what is that?
The bright yellow M logo on your shirt resembles the logo of many brands, but one of the most famous associations is with McDonald's, which uses a bright yellow M in its branding.
No.
If it's not related,
Why don't you look at the M one more time and give me your best guess as to what it is?
let me take a look. The bright yellow M logo on the shirt appears to represent the University of Michigan, specifically their athletic teams.
Nailed
known as
it.
the Michigan.
Good job. Okay. Now I asked you also to give me, tell me what I look like. How's my hair doing today? Like, give me some info on that, just so make sure I'm presentable for this video that I'm shooting right now.
Let me take a look. Your hair looks well groomed and tidy, which is great for being camera ready. It appears to be neatly styled with a slight wave, giving it a natural yet refined look. This style complements your outfit and makes you look presentable and professional for your video. You're all set.
Well, that's good to know. All right, a few more things here. I've got some books. Now, can you recognize text?
Yes, I can help you with recognizing and reading text. If you point the camera at
Yep.
the books, I can assume.
It's pointed at the book right now, the front of the book, I think.
Okay, preparing to scan. Please point your camera and hold steady. Okay, I have the image. Analyzing it now. Please wait a moment. Okay, I've scanned it. Here's what I could read. Me. And my Amy and Laura's other. Jamie. Great. When I Was Little, 4-year-old's memoir of her Tully. By Jamie Lee Crichtis, illustrated by Laura Cornell. Visual element detected. Alt text for the visual element is as following. A book cover with an illustration of a purple monster wearing a crown and text including Tell Me Again. End of visual element description.
Interesting.
Tell me again about...
That was a little weird. So maybe that was hard for you because it was like the front of the book or maybe some images. So I'm just pointing it towards a page in the book. Maybe you could tell me what that is.
Sure. Let's try scanning the page in the book for text recognition. Please hold the camera steady on the page you'd like me to read.
Yep, I am.
Okay, preparing to scan. Please point your camera and hold steady. Okay, I have the image. Analyzing it now, please wait a moment. Okay, I've scanned it. Here's what I could read. Did I do? But enough about me. Visual element detected. Alt text for the visual element is as follows. An illustration of a person wearing a nurse's cap with a red cross and colorful clothing. The person appears to be holding an object and there is partial text visible reading how. The style is whimsical with bright colors. End of visual element description.
All right, Elena, I think we're good to stop this video now. So I had it read a couple of more. I had it read a couple of more pages of that children's book, and it didn't do well. And so, Elena, could you see if the book was oriented correctly, like right side up?
It was the back of the book first, and
Okay.
then it was upside down.
Okay, so it was upside down. So it really, really struggled with that. So if it was right now, I'm wondering if it was do better if it was right side up and not upside down. It really struggled with that. Here's the thing. There are many OCR apps that are also free, like Be My AI, that would have no problem reorienting that text and reading it just fine. So that's one area where this kind of fell short. Even Seeing AI can read text that's upside down and extract it. Although I think too that a little harder for it to do it because there were images. I think probably the descriptions of the images were okay. But the text was it just wasn't able to do that upside down. And purposefully, I did not try to orient or figure out the orientation of the book first because I really wanted to see how well it did. Here's some really cool things about this app before we really start talking about it and I open it up for questions. So ChatGPT does this and it does similar things. It does it faster and it does it a little bit better, but it costs $20 a month. Google Gemini does similar stuff, but they may start charging for that too. This app is totally free, at least right now. Oftentimes we'll see software companies come up with cool things like this. They test it out, they get a bunch of data, they have people use it, test it, and then they start charging for it. But I don't know what they're going to do. But right now it's free. It took a little bit longer to respond than some of the other AIs that I've used. But it really did okay. And for an absolutely 100% free app that is tailored for people who are visually impaired, this could be a real game changer. So I'm curious to see or hear from you guys what you think, if you've ever used this app, and if you have any questions about this. So please raise your virtual hand with Alt Y, and Elena will call on you, and we can chat about this a little bit.
All right. First question. I'm so sorry. I do not know how to pronounce your name. But you are unmuted. Ilire?
Hello, I'm Alira. Hi, guys.
Alira.
Alira, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I just have a comment, not necessarily a question, but I have to say I'm impressed with this app because I noticed, obviously you mentioned how long it was taking to answer, but I'm impressed with the fact that it, like when you took a picture of that hot cocoa, like the Starbucks hot cocoa, it was actually able to give you a description of, what that looks like, what it is. I was also impressed with something else, and I'm trying to think of it now. I'll think of it.
Was it like some of the descriptions of the images?
Oh, no, that's what it was, a description of your outfit.
Yeah.
And asking it those personable questions. That's what it was. How you can ask it, because I'm very conscious when it comes to video meetings and how I look and if my camera's centered. So the fact that it could tell you that your hair looks good or that you look presentable, that's amazing.
Here would be my question about that. If I didn't, what would it say? Would it tell me, or would it say, "Oh, you have a neat, messy, disheveled look that's really fashionable"? Like, I don't know. I haven't really tested that. So I encourage you, check that out. And what would it say if, really you weren't looking too good that day? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'll definitely test it out. And the third thing that I was impressed with what was the human voice. It didn't have that robotic voice that you commonly hear in Siri or in voiceover. It had a nice sounding, natural sounding human voice.
It was. I liked her tone too sometimes. Um, yeah, you're all set. You're ready to go for that video. Yeah, it was cool.
All right.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thanks
Thanks,
for your
Tim.
comment. Yeah.
All right. And then it looks like we have a question from Carolyn. You are unmuted. If you could unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, I have two questions. One, how do I spell allies?
It's
Ally for the app.
yeah, it's A
Question one,
L A L L Y.
Allly.
A L
And my,
L Y. Mhm.
okay, my second is, how do you compare Ally app to Seeing AI?
Well, so seeing AI, you at what Ally offers really is an AI chat experience. So you can have a conversation with this artificial intelligence who can then provide you information or do things or describe things.
Right.
And seeing AI is an app that you're really navigating through on the screen. So you can swipe to different options, you can point your camera, you can have it take a picture. Um, so you don't get that whole kind of interactive experience.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
All right. Next question is from Debbie. Debbie, you are unmuted. If you could also unmute yourself.
Hi there. This sounds pretty cool. But I'm wondering, do you have to have one of the latest iPhones? I noticed you had the iPhone 15. Can you use something older than that? Or,
What kind of phone do you have?
sorry to say, still have an iPhone 8. So
Oh,
yeah, that's what
well,
I say. Oh,
I mean,
do you have to have something with that Neuro engine or whatever they
no,
call it?
so
No.
that I don't have the Apple Intelligence, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there are some hardware requirements. But if you
Okay.
go and find it on the App Store, it should say right in there on the App
Whether
Store.
it's compatible, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I
I'm
don't,
sure it won't work as well either, because obviously.
oh yeah.
It doesn't have the, yeah,
Give it
okay.
a try though, but I'd say
Sure,
at least like an 11 or a 12.
right. Okay.
But I'm
Otherwise, it sounds
curious.
pretty cool. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tim.
sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then we have Dr. Douglas. You are unmuted. If you could also unmute yourself.
Well, good afternoon.
Good
That was a
afternoon.
very interesting presentation. Uh, I was curious as one, if you tried the OCR with the book upright at any time and what the results were on that. I find uh, the voice very nice, very
Hmm.
appealing. Uh, I did not like the long delay in responses
Yes.
you know, unfortunately, it seems like we're a instantaneous society nowadays. And that just seems like almost an eternity. But it sounds like the app has a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, I agree. And the delay was long, but you're absolutely right. It's all about what we're used to. Even 5 years ago, if an app came out like that, it would have just been, none of us would say, wow, that took it a long time. We would just be saying, wow, but we're just so
Yeah,
used to things being very instantaneous now.
yeah.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point there. Thank you.
And did you try it with the book up in the correct position
I
to see how the
didn't.
OCR?
No, but you should download it and check it out.
Yeah, I
Give it a
will.
shot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And then we have a hand up from Dawn. Dawn, you're unmuted if you
All
would
right.
like to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hi, Don.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hey, Tim. So I got a couple questions about some different things, so hopefully you can help. So first of all, I have heard, so okay, yeah, let me read stuff from the thingy because I did see it. So I had heard that you could, well, actually, so can Ella give such things as the weather or not the weather report, like the pollen count and different things? So, and like your or I don't want to say your propensity, but your likelihood of getting migraines that day because of the weather. And then I have two other questions.
Well,
can you import photos from your camera? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so for your first question, it definitely details on the weather, like we kind of demonstrated. As far as specific pollen reports and different things like that, and whether that might cause you a migraine, you can kind of customize it when you first set it up, and maybe that's something that you could tell it. It does say that you can customize it in a way that it'll remember things. And I just really strongly encourage you. This is sort of like, hey, get your feet with Ally, and then really see what it can do, and let me know too. And Don, I think we can do one more of your questions, and then we're going to take a question from somebody else.
So can Ally be used as a transcription service? I'm hearing that. And can it describe videos, and can you import photos from your photo library?
No, that is not something that they kind of advertise it doing. But the next app that we're going to cover, called the Envision app, here in just a couple minutes, can import photos from your photo library. Yeah, and Be My Eyes can also do that, and Be My AI and Seeing AI can also do that. So lots of options for that. But Ally, more of a kind of a chat helper, information, look through your camera and do stuff type app. But thanks, Don. Thanks for your question. We're going to take one more question about Ally, and then we're going to move on to our next couple of items.
All right. Jeff, you're unmuted. If you could also unmute yourself.
Hi. My one question was, I was wondering about how accurate it is on the colors. I know it did the yellow on your logo, but I was wondering about how accurate it would be on colors, like a lot of other devices don't get very accurate on the colors.
So what I found with colors, and the Envision app that we're going to talk about next purports that it has a color recognizer. Seeing AI has had one for years. There's lots of apps out there. They don't do well just kind of looking through your camera and reading colors, but AI does do well. I've noticed it's got some different engine, the way it recognizes colors and puts kind of the pieces together. So I've used ChatGPT, the Be My AI with Be My Eyes, and they pretty much get it every time, provided the lighting is decent. And it did really well with my navy shirt with that bright yellow M, and the kind of the colors of the products and stuff that we were showing. So this AI stuff does a lot better with colors than any of the old kind of color apps, or even like the standalone color recognizers that you used to be able to buy on Maxi Aids that were just terrible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, so we're going to move on to our next item. Lots of interest with this. Really download that Ally app. It's free, and play around with it. And if you want to, I'd love to hear from you guys at questions@lhblind.org. to tell me your experiences. So let's talk about the Envision app now. So this is an app by the same company called Envision. In 2018, Envision, a Netherlands-based company, launched the Envision AI app, and now it's just called Envision. And they launched it for iOS and Android. So that was 7 years ago. Originally, the app had basic reading, identifying, and finding tools, but over time, more features were added to this app. And in 2020, Envision launched the Envision glasses. The glasses included most of the same software as this app that we're going to talk about. But now they made it available on the glasses as well. So at first, the app was subscription based, but as of June 2022, so a few years ago, it's now completely free, and they're still adding to it. So in the next video, we're going to explore the features of this app that I really found most useful. It says it does a bunch of stuff, but I really wanted to focus on the pieces that really work well. So Elena, if you could run that next one. Are talking about the Envision app. So Envision is a software company, like I mentioned. They're actually based in the Netherlands, and they've been doing lots of cool stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Envision glasses. So this app can be used with the glasses in conjunction with them. The glasses can do all kinds of stuff by themselves. But this app has actually really come a long way in the past few years. It does some pretty snappy stuff. It processes things pretty quickly. I like the user interface. It's quick and easy to navigate. It does very similar things to, say, Seeing AI, for example. Be My Eyes in some ways with the Be My AI feature. But we're going to scope out this app. Open Envision.
Envision. Tab bar. Envision glasses. Tab 2 of 3.
And I just asked Siri to open Envision, and I'm going to slow this speech rate down.
Character headings. Speaking with words. Speaking rate 60%.
About 60%. So there's some tabs along the bottom.
Selected. App. Tab 1 of 3.
App is the first one.
Envision glasses.
Envision glasses. That's the tab you'd use if you were checking out the glasses or pairing the glasses and all that stuff.
Tab 3 of 3.
And settings, of course. So we're going to go to the
tab 1 of 3.
App tab, which is already selected. And we're going to do a 4-finger single tap at the top of the screen, a voiceover command to get up to the very top.
Tab bar. Item import file help button. Importing import file. Import image. Selected. Import file. Adjustable.
All right.
Light scan instant text.
Sorry, that was on a different setting. So this app is it's kind of unique. So it has a button that is also a switcher. So you can tap the button, or you can swipe up or down to change the options there.
Tab instant text button.
So
Adjustable.
Instant text button adjustable. That means we can swipe up or down. What's the next one?
Scan text.
Scan text.
Library. Import file. Scan barcode. Describe scene.
Okay, so there's a bunch of different options. We're going to start with instant text.
Scan import light. Scan instant text.
So I swipe down. I got all the way back to the top. Here's something that you need to know with this. With instant text, it doesn't take you into another screen. As soon as you double tap this button, it takes a picture and it starts displaying the text on the screen right away. So I'm setting up my phone with the camera kind of at the center of the paper. This is a computer printout. It's just plain text on a page. This app or any OCR app should have no problem viewing and recognizing this image, this printed text here. So lifting it up off the page, about 8 inches, 10 inches, and I'm going to double tap, and we'll see what happens.
Select real-time Al assistance with smart glasses and live video date, March 12th, 2025 time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Join the Lighthouse for the Blind, Incorporated, and tech YouTuber Carrie from Carry On. Accessibility for an interactive webinar on the latest advancements in Al voice and vision technology.
All right, I paused it with a 2-finger double tap. This app has self-voicing capabilities, so that means there's a play button, and you can play and hear the text read aloud, as well as use voiceover. So I did a 2-finger double tap to pause. This document that it's reading is a description of our webinar from a couple of months ago.
Tab bar. Envision glass. Selected. Instant text help button. Instant text preferences button.
So pretty nice. It read it almost I mean, that was immediate almost, which I really like. I like things to happen fast and give me information quickly. Very accurate scan. The rest of the page was nice too. It says AL assistance. It was actually AI assistance, but the font probably recognized that as a 1 or an L instead of an I. That's okay. No biggie. We got it.
Instant text preferences, but preferred language button. Magnifier button.
All right. So
instant text help but selected. Instant text.
Swiped around there's a few other controls on the screen, but basically that's what instant text is. I'm going to swipe up to the next one.
Scan text.
Scan text. Okay. I'm going to set this up just the same way and double tap. And this actually takes us to another screen where we can choose if we want to do a single page or a scan or a batch, which will allow us to take multiple pictures and multiple pages.
Single scan. Adjustable.
All right. So we can change that.
Batch
swipe
scan.
up.
Single scan.
Swipe down. I'm just going to do a single scan and double tap.
Single scan. Adjustable. Close. But take photo button.
And now we got to swipe to the take photo picture or take photo button.
Not all edges are visible.
And it's trying to tell me what edges are
all
visible.
Edges visible.
There we go.
Steady. 0.
Okay.
Back button.
So we could have taken the picture manually. I moved it around. I moved it up a little bit, and it happened that I didn't quite have all the edges visible. And once I did, it said hold steady, and it took the picture automatically, which is cool.
Scan document. Reader preferences. Real-time AL assistance with smart glasses and live video. Date, March 12th, 2025 time, 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Cool. All right. I'm just going to swipe through this and see if it caught the rest of it.
Join after date, time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Join the Lighthouse for the Blind, Incorporated, for an interactive and informative webinar on enhancing your typing and text input experience on iOS devices. This month, we'll kick off with the exciting new Clicks keyboard, a tactile, portable keyboard case designed to transform your typing experience. We're thrilled to welcome Jeff Gatway from Clicks Technology, who will provide an in-depth demonstration of Clicks and answer your questions. We'll also explore Braille screen input, showing you how to type efficiently, and introducing the latest updates that make it even more powerful.
Awesome. Super, super accurate. There are some settings that you can go into here that will allow you to change the font size, the reading speed. So there are, again, that self-voicing technology. We can press play. We can have it read it to us. You can increase and decrease the font size. A couple other really cool things this does that actually are not super easy to do with other apps. Seeing AI really doesn't quite have this down yet.
Envision, export options, button.
Export options. I'm going to double tap on that.
Export alert, export options. Save to library, button.
So we can save it to the Envision library, which, allows us to go back into this app and look at things that we've scanned or saved.
Save as a PDF file, button.
Save it as a PDF. Now that's pretty cool. I like that. Oftentimes you need to use PDF in the business world and different things like that, so you can easily take a scan and create a PDF.
Save as .txt file, button.
And save it as a plain text file. All of us blind people love plain text files.
Copy to clipboard, button.
Another awesome handy thing, you can copy to the clipboard and you can paste this anywhere, in an email, anything like that.
Share text via, button.
And then you can open up Apple's share sheet here. You can share text via, and you've got all kinds of apps to choose from. Messages and, Outlook or whatever your mail app is and all that kind of stuff. And this feature actually works great. We're not going to go through all those.
Cancel, button.
I want to just press cancel. I want to show you one other thing about this scanning feature in Envision. We can press the play button, of course.
Ask Envision button.
So Ask Envision. So Envision's thrown in a little AI sprinkle in here, and some of what this can do is describe more, summarize, give descriptions. Let's check this out.
Currently analyzing the text field. Is editing. Insertion point at start.
All right, so this basically opens up a chat screen where you can chat with Envision's
Today, 3:40
AI,
p.m.
basically.
Text. Ask your text field. Is editing. Insertion.
So you're asking questions.
A white paper with a letter written on it.
A white paper with a letter written on it. Okay, so it gave us like a description of it.
Cat Y. Ask your question. Text. Ask your question. Ellipsis. Cat Q. Ask your question. Ask your question. Ellipsis. A white paper with today, 3:40 to text voice button. Text field. Text field is editing.
That was a little funky getting in the text field there. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to just ask it a question. Can you summarize this document in bullet points for me?
Inserted. Can you summarize this document in bullet points for me? Voice. Send. Button. Processing your request. Ellipsis.
Okay. It's making a sort of a happy little working sound there.
Sure. Here are the bullet points from the document. Star the document is a letter addressed to someone. Star the letter is written in a formal tone. Star the letter is about a product, specifically a software. Star the letter is discussing the features and benefits of the software. Star the letter is asking the recipient to try the software. Star the letter is offering a free trial of the software. Star the letter is asking the recipient to provide feedback on the software. Star the letter is closing with a thank you and a request for the recipient to contact the sender if they have any questions.
That is not.
Is there anything else you would like to know about the photo taken?
That is not correct.
Today, 3:42 p.m. Text field. Voice. Text field. Text field is edited.
Can you look at that photo again? This is just a document. It's not a letter to someone. Can you try summarizing it again?
Inserted. Can you look at that voice? Send. Button. One moment. I'm looking into it. Ellipsis.
Okay. Look into it.
The document appears to be a technical report or guide, possibly related to a software or product development. It contains detailed information and instructions, with a focus on the user experience and user interface. The report is written in a clear and concise manner, with a focus on providing practical advice and recommendations to the reader. Today, 3-4 text field voice text field.
That is not true. This is just a list of past webinar
text field
descriptions. Let's see if
text
it's.
field is editing.
Can you just read me this, please?
Inserted. Can you just read me this, please? Voice send button.
Let's see if he
On
can
it.
do that.
Ellipsis.
On it, he says. He or she.
I'm sorry, but I am unable to read text that is not visible to me. Please provide the text you would like. Back button.
Okay.
Scan products and QR codes, and use the world powered vision. Registration. Group. Pay back button. Scan back button. One page captured. Single scan. Not all edges are visible.
Okay.
Not all edges are visible.
All right, we're going to try
Not
scanning
all
this one
edges
more
are
time.
visible. All edges visible. Hold steady. 0.
There we go.
Back button.
All right. Okay.
Vision technology. Real-time image description.
Sweet.
Walk through live
Okay,
video
we got
features
a
with
nice
Rate
scan
Smart.
again.
Translate. Play from page beginning. Play. Export option. Ask Envision.
Let's ask
I'm
Envision.
currently analyzing the text field. Is editing. Insertion point at start.
Let's see what it says now. We're making it do it again.
A white paper with a green background and black text.
Green background, huh?
Today, 3-4
Interesting.
text field is editing. Insertion point at end.
Can you summarize this document for me?
Inserted. Can you sum voice send button. Searching for your answer now. Ellipsis.
I'm wondering if this really isn't like AI. It's just maybe something else.
The document is a web page with a white background, likely a brochure or advertisement. It appears to be promoting a technology event, possibly a conference or workshop,
All
with
right.
a focus on web development. The event is scheduled for March 2015 and is being held at the Lighthouse for the Blind. The web page includes a list of sponsors, including Google, and a call to action for attendees to
No,
register.
it's
The
not.
event is
Okay, I love how AI stuff just fabricates. All right, so it got Lighthouse for the Blind. It got that it was a technology event. It was way off on all kinds
Is
of
there
other
anything
stuff.
else you would like to
So maybe don't use this
ask
feature.
your question? Ellipsis. Back button.
But man, this app has got some cool stuff though. That instant text was great, really snappy, super accurate scans here. I love that you can export as a PDF. You can take a batch scan, which means you can scan a whole dang book if you want to, and have it all in one file. You can copy and paste the text anywhere you want. Lots of good stuff.
Scan document. Heading.
So we are going to check out another feature
Reader
of this
preferences.
app.
Real-time analysis. Time. 4 p.m. Pacific. Back button.
One thing that's a little weird about this app, though, is you have to
Not all
go.
edges are visible.
You have to go.
Not all edges are visible. Not all close.
You have to press close and go back a few times if you
Select
want to
Envision
switch
glasses.
to your sort of next, to another feature in the app that you want to use. So we're just swiping around. Remember, we got that button that's
Select
also a
Scan
switcher.
text. Button. Scan text. Button. Scan text. Button. Adjustable.
Okay, scan text. I'm going to swipe up. We're going to go to the next one.
Library.
Library. So remember, we talked about this before. These are items that you've saved within your Envision app. So let's say you just scanned a bunch of books and kept them in this Envision app in its library.
Import file.
Import file. I liked this one. We can double tap here This means you can grab a file from somewhere like your phone, your iCloud library.
Selected. Import file. Tab bar. Select import image. Button.
Okay.
Selected. Import file.
So import
Adjustable.
image actually opens your camera roll where you can look at all your pictures. Import file, I believe, goes to your iCloud drive. So let's do that.
Import file. Adjustable.
Okay.
Import file. Button. Adjustable. Tab bar. Selected. Import file. Button. Adjustable. Import file. Tab bar. Envision glass. Import file. Button. Adjustable. Import file. Import file. Import file. Tab bar. Import file.
Okay. Import file.
Import image. Button. Selected. Import file. Adjustable. Import file. Button.
Had to double tap another button that said import file. That's okay.
More. Dictate.
I'm just swiping through some files on here.
Central Valley High School events and tickets by
There's an events thing from my kid's high school. Yep. Okay, I'm importing it.
Central Valley High School events and tickets by GoFan. Heading. Reader preferences. Goffin. Change filters to see more. Reset filters. Upcoming events. 8. Carib.
Okay.
Home. Wed.
I'm just swiping to the right.
February 5th, 7 p.m.
February 5th, 7 p.m.
More. Annie. February 5th, Performing Arts.
Cool.
Buy tickets, right arrow. Home. Thursday. Who? February 6th. 7 p.m. Home.
Got the basic information out of that. I think it was just kind of a screenshot of a web page, so there's probably some funky stuff.
All right, Elena, we can stop this one. So the last thing, and we're kind of running out of time here. I really wanted to show you guys this last voice transcription feature. It's a pretty quick, it's a much shorter video, and it's a lot of bang for your buck in this next video. And then we'll open it up for a Q&A at the very end about both videos. But just as Elena's queuing up that next video, I just wanted to mention the last thing I did in this video was have it describe a scene. And what that did was a very, very basic kind of scene description that you could get from, for example, that Be My AI. It just provides kind of an AI scene description. It was very accurate, and it did a pretty good job. So just kind of another way of doing that. But let's check out this text transcription, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A, a little bit longer session of that at the end.
Here we are with the Voice Memos app that comes included with iOS. So any Apple device that you have, I'm using an iPhone 15. Nothing fancy, but it works for everyday use. It's actually a great phone. The Voice Memos app has been around a long time, ever since the inception of the iPhone, or at least closely around there. It's evolved over the years, added some features. But it's pretty bare bones, and it's actually pretty simple and easy to use. A couple of features that they added most recently, which I found actually pretty cool and pretty helpful. Last year, I think it was iOS 18, last year, it allowed you to remove silence from any voice memo that you recorded. So if you were recording a lecture or, somebody speaking, or a conversation or something like that, you could, once you recorded it, you could go in and edit some of the settings of that recording, and it would remove all of the silence. So it actually would speed up the recording quite a bit. And the feature that we're going to show you today is related to recording a voice memo and getting the text transcript from that. So all kinds of things that you can do with this. It's pretty simple. And I'm going to show you exactly how to record the voice memo and then grab that text and paste it anywhere that you want. So just some examples here. Let's say you are in a class and you went to a 2-hour lecture and you recorded the whole lecture because in the middle of it you fell asleep. Okay, so you can finish that voice recording by pressing stop and then access that transcript and paste it into an email or into your notes or whatever you'd like to do. And then further beyond that, you could run it through AI and tell you to give you some quiz questions about it, or give you a summary, or that kind of thing. So lots of stuff that you can do with text, and it's totally accessible and totally easy to use. So I'm going to be using standard voiceover commands to navigate through voice memos as I swipe through the screen. If nobody's ever used voice memos, which I'm sure many of you have, but as you swipe through, the first thing you see on the screen are a whole big list of the recordings that you've made.
using voice memos.
1,400.
And they're just, you can title them, but right now all of mine are labeled by, where the voice memo was recorded. So some are at work, some are at my home, that kind of thing. So all the way down at the bottom, and what I recommend people doing is not swiping all the way down there. So just find the bottom center of the screen, and right above your case is a button
Record button
that says record. So we're going to press that button. We're going to start recording this voice memo, and I'm going to do what I do so well, is talk. So this is Tim Paulding, and I am showing off the voice transcription feature of Apple Voice Memos. It's super helpful, super easy to use. You can get a transcript. You can view the transcript within the app, or, which I prefer to do, you can actually copy that transcript and paste it anywhere you like and do whatever you want with the text after that. So that should be enough of this talking to test this feature. I'm going to reach down to the bottom of the screen and press the stop button.
Stop button.
All right, now I'm going to go to the top of the screen. This is a really cool command. If you guys don't know this, 4 fingers and tap it at the top half of the screen.
Voice memos. Back button.
That takes you to the very, very top of the page. I'm going to swipe right a few times, and what we're going to find is this voice memo that I just recorded.
Edit. But all recordings. Heading. Titles. Dictate button.
I'm just swiping.
1,424. 3:14 p.m.
Okay, 3:14 p.m. It gave the location.
Transcription available.
And it says transcription available. So if it's a really long voice memo, sometimes it takes a minute for the transcription available thingy to pop up. So I think it has to process it, using whatever fancy stuff it does to process that and extract the text from it.
More actions button.
So
track position 0 seconds of 40 seconds.
All right, it was 40 seconds long, and
edit recording. Rewind. Play.
Let's make sure, we capture the audio that we were planning on capturing. So I swiped to the play button. Now we're going to press play. And I'm going to do what I do so well, is talk. Blah, blah, blah. So this So sounds like it worked great. I just pressed pause. Now we're going to go to more actions.
Fast forward. Delete. 1,000. Delete. Fast play. Rewind. Edit recording. Track position. More actions.
Okay, so there's this more actions button. This is the easiest way that I've found to get the transcript and copy and paste it somewhere. It's super quick, really easy to use. I'm going to double tap on more actions.
More action. Share. Button. Edit recording. Options. Button. View transcript. Button.
Okay, so we can either view it, which pops it up on the screen. You got to kind of swipe around a little bit to find it. It's a little more cumbersome. Super easy way, again.
Copy transcript.
Copy transcript. I'm going to double tap that. Boom, it's copied. So now I'm going to go to my Notes app. You could go to any app. Email. You could paste the transcript in a text message, whatever you want. It's copied to your VoiceOver clipboard, or that you can access through the rotor, or
Christina, voice memos, phone call.
Just got a phone call. Hope she doesn't call back. Okay. So I'm going to go to Notes.
Messages, services, Outlook, message, voice memo, message, Outlook, note, photo, notes, act. Ronald Heezer on prayer.
All right.
Previous 7 day. Timothy Chowchas. Yesterday. Heading. Dictate. Button.
So
toolbar.
I'm going to add a new note.
New note. Note. Text field is editing.
There we
Insertion
are.
point
I'm going to
start.
use the rotor.
Edit.
To the edit rotor option. Swipe up.
Phone call note. Dina.
Swipe
Answer call
up
call.
to paste.
Note. High toolbar. Notes. Note. Text field. Insertion. Edit. Scan to paste. And I'm going to do what I do so well, is talk. So this is Tim Paulding, and I am showing off the voice transcription feature. Make note. Text field is editing, and I'm going to do what I do so well, is talk. So this is Tim Paulding, and I am showing off the voice transcription feature of Apple Voice Memos. It's super helpful, super easy to use. You can get a transcript. You can view the transcript within the app, or, which I prefer to do, you can actually copy that transcript and paste it anywhere you like and do whatever you want with the text after that. So that should be enough of this talking to test this feature. I'm gonna reach down to the bottom of the screen and press the stop button. Stop button. Insertion point at end.
Okay, and it also read stop button, which my phone said when I touched the stop button. It sounded like it might have put some punctuation in there too, and I loved how it used a word like gonna. It didn't say going to, it said it said gonna, which is actually pretty awesome. So there's a quick demo of the voice memo transcription feature. You guys got to see that my wife was blowing me up while I was trying to make that video. And then, yeah, anyway. So I'm sure you guys have lots of questions about the Envision app, the Voice Memos app. Let's get some hands raised and we can do 10, 12 minutes of this. We'll be out of here by 5:22 if any of you want to stick around. If we don't get to answer your questions, I'd really try to respond to everyone with any residual or remaining questions at questions@lhblind.org. So feel free to email me if you don't get a chance here. Who's first?
We're going to start with Bonnie. Bonnie, you're unmuted. If you could also unmute yourself.
All right, Bonnie, you find that unmute button?
All right, we'll come back to Bonnie. Carolyn, you are up if you want to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. My question is really more about you, Tim, rather than about the app.
Oh.
When these apps are talking so fast, do you understand everything they say?
Yes. I tried to slow the speech rate down to like 60%, but man, I've been doing this a long time. So you'd probably want to slow down your speech rate. And when you explore an app, just methodically move through it so that you understand what all the buttons are and what all the things do. But I usually listen to it faster than what we were listening.
Okay. So if I want to slow it down, I have to go to settings, right?
Yep. You go to voiceover settings.
Voice. Okay. Very good. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you got this.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Carolyn. And now we have Gina. You're unmuted. If you could also unmute yourself.
Gina, what's happening?
A bunch. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a headache. You want it?
Oh, Gina's got a headache. Sorry.
No, thank you.
Whoa, that's not kind. Anyway, the question I have is, it's kind of a dumb one, but I've never been able to figure it out. How do you spell Envision? Is it ENVISION or IN?
It's
El Dumbo here can't figure it out.
EN. Envision.
And it's all lowercase, right?
Yep.
Okay, that was my question.
There we go. That was easy. All right.
All right. Thank you for that question. Let's try Bonnie again. Bonnie, you're unmuted. If you could unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Bonnie.
Oh, sorry that took so long.
That's okay.
My question is this put out by Google Glass, or who puts this out? Because I've heard Google Glass is no longer being produced.
Well, so Google Glasses, so the Envision glasses, which we didn't really talk about today, those are wearable glasses that have a camera on them that you can talk to and that can do things. And they were originally on the Google Glass platform. So they kind of tweaked Google Glasses to make them work for Envision. I think they're using an entirely different technology now. But the two apps from Envision that we talked about today which was the Ally app and the Envision app. Those are both just available on an iPhone.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Of course.
All right. And that looks like that was our last question.
That was it, everybody. Great. Oh, we got a couple more.
All right. Do you want to take a couple more, Tim?
Yeah, let's just do one more.
One more? All right. We're going to go with Marcia. You are unmuted. If you could also mute yourself.
Hi, Marcia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I am so tickled because I use a memo app and I took a class and I have about 16 hours. And I was just thinking, I need to delete this app or sit and listen to each 2-hour session and take notes. So I didn't know that I could have it translated like into print,
Yes.
you can read it.
So as long as you're using the Voice Memos app on your iPhone.
That's what I use to record all that. Is there any way I took some Braille notes, but I'm not sure. I understand some of it. Is that going to be in your email notes that how you did that?
Well, you can watch the webinar again, but really you record the voice memo, and then once you or you can double tap on any of the voice memos that you have in your Voice Memos app. Once you do that, you'll find that More Options button.
I wrote that down.
Yep, and in the More Options button, you can either view the transcript or copy it. And then once you copy it, you can paste it. You can paste it somewhere. Anywhere. You've never done the paste thing.
I've never pasted anything on with my iPhone. So
okay. If you shoot me an email, I'll send you some instructions on that. But I'll leave it to you to remind me questions at lhblind.org, and I can send you a step by step.
Can you say that a little slower, your email? I'm going to spell it out.
Questions.
Oh, so I write the word questions? That's your email?
Questions at the @
Uh-huh.
Oh, Elena.
Misspelled. Sorry.
Typo. Okay.
Typo.
Okay. Questions at LH. So like Lighthouse.
LH.
LH blind. .org. Questions at lhblind.org. She got it.
This has been fantastic. This is my first.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Connection. And by the way, I'm in Michigan.
Yeah. You're in Michigan. Yeah, I was there for a long time. Went to University of Michigan and did all kinds of stuff there. That's awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Great webinar today. Please be looking for that email tomorrow. Thanks for coming, everybody.